we are part of that conversation. And for that, I think we should all be happy. For me, the week has been interesting, very interesting. And that's all I will say. Not good, not bad, you know, a little sticker shock here with the new Affordable Care Act, but I think that there are other routes that I might be able to take in order to kind of offset some of that cost. But it's still challenging because you only have 15 days to figure out this nearly $5,000 bill that you have to pay next month that you're not expecting. So for that, I say bullshit, and no human being should be treated like that. So I have a couch. Oh, sorry, guys. I need to tell you guys. I have a couch full of pillows everywhere. But I also have two dogs, just like Spot over there, that just jumped on my couch to look out the window. So then what happens is all the pillows end up kind of like just like everywhere. So it's clean, but then I notice, oh, there's a pillow behind this, and the curtain's kind of off. Probably because Spot jumped over there, but who cares, right? You're not here about Spot. You're here to talk to me. So um, I want everyone to look really closely if you're on the Affordable Healthcare Act, the ACA, Obamacare. The deadline to get everything finalized is the 15th, and they have some different requirement. So the prices went up, but they're also requiring that you bring different data, like your tax returns and other significant information. So just be aware. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. That's the easiest way to explain it. But I also feel hope. I also feel like this is happening, but this is not going to happen for long. That's my feeling, and that's what's getting me through. I think a lot of people might call it faith. A lot of people might say I'm delusional, but I feel like everything works out in divine timing. I feel that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. And I feel like when you're trying to really, really evolve, that's when the pressure kind of kicks in and you start feeling that pressure. And under pressure, diamonds are made. So I'm gonna shine like a diamond, and I am gonna continue to walk by faith, not by sight. That is the most important lesson that I've ever learned throughout my life. What we see in front of us is this moment, and this moment can be fantastic or it can be horrific. It's what you do in the meantime that builds your character. It's what you do in the meantime that takes you to the next level. So it's not life's not hard. It's just understanding when to breathe, when to hold on, and when to let go. I don't know. I think that's the best thing I've learned from this week. Breathe, hold on, let it go. Let go of things you can't control. Because once they're out of your hands, once you can control them, that's when your faith kicks in. That's when you say, what I'm seeing is not aligned with where I see myself heading, my future self. So I'm taking life right now in microbites, just moment. And when something hits me hard and it's harder than I think I can handle. For instance, this morning when I came on, I'm like, guys, I just opened up my mail and it's, X amount of dollars for me to have healthcare and I need it. Um, I was in shock. I honestly, when I came on this morning, I was totally calm, but in my mind, I was like, how am I going to deal with this? And I don't care who you are, how much money you have, unless you're, billions and billions of dollars. But in this moment, for most of us in America, um, with the uncertainty just hanging on, and remember, we're walking by faith, we're not walking by sight. But in this moment, to understand that next year is going to cost me $55,000 more than it did this year for the exact same insurance. I'm trying my best to grapple with that. Um, the other part would be to lower choose a different plan. But then if I choose a different plan, I have like a $3,000 out of pocket cost before the insurance kicks in. And really, that's only $1,000 less. So where are we? Where are we? Where are we in our humanity, in our understanding of others? Where are we when we think about why we're making certain decisions about ourselves in this country and how it's affecting not just yourself, but your neighbor? I can come on every single day and show you this shiny, great, oh, look at me on Bill. Wow. Or I can come on every day when I'm like, ooh, look at me on Bill. Wow. And give you a great show. But at the same time, in these good morning or good night moments, it's not a podcast. So it's not a content creator. This is just me. And with just being me, it means I'm going to have good days and bad days. And I think it's healthy to share both because I don't want anyone out there to look at my my projects, my content, and think, oh my God, this guy has it so together. I do, but I don't. And that's the truth. On some days, I have everything figured out. And on other days, I just don't. But being in a person that normally uh, has a team that depends on me, I've learned to, when I'm having those those awkward moments, and they're not good or bad, they're life lessons, I mask it, right? So in business, the world could be falling apart in my world, which it doesn't really happen very often. But you're trained not to let them see you sweat. In this moment, I'm talking to people that may be able to learn from my experience. Maybe my experience resonates with them, and maybe it doesn't, and I can learn something from them. But if you'd only show the greatness, the wonderful parts, the reals of your life, there's someone out there that says, I can never achieve that. And I'm out there saying, but you can, because I do the same things that you do. A lot of us deal with self-doubt. And to me, it's at what level, right? Are you here with your self-doubt? Are you here? Or are you just really strong, but it creeps in on certain types of things, right? But all of us have something that we have an insecurity about. Um, Many people, not me, I guarantee this, look at other people's success and say, oh, I can never achieve that. I look at other people's success and I said, I'm proud of them. And then I said, they have a great idea. And then I said to myself, but that's their lane. So I'm never looking to duplicate or follow or become anyone else because I am happy finally with me. And that takes a long time. It takes a long time to get to that point. Now, am I happy with me every day? I have my calming music. I have my affirmations. I have my things I put on to just remind myself that today is going to be better than yesterday and tomorrow is going to be better than today. It's a process. It's a process to bring yourself from 100 to 10 when you open up or see something that shifts your energy. And when that shift of energy occurs, and this is hard because I just failed the test. When that shift of energy occurs, you have the choice to hang on to that negative energy, let go of the negative energy, or to process it, understand it, think it through, and determine in that moment what choice you're going to make. Are you going to, is that a life lesson that you want to keep with you? The good part, and move forward. Do you want to hang on to negativity and just be a barker all day? Rah, 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 rah. And everyone you meet because you open up a bad message this morning. Um, and in the moment, it's hard because I normally need a second. And my go-to word is give me a beat. Um, and that just means I need my phone not to ring. It's not the right time to call me. Give me a second, I'll call you back. Um, those are boundaries that allow you to maintain and keep great relationships. And it allows you to let someone know, I got your phone call. I see or hear you. This isn't about you, but I need a moment so I can get myself together so I don't bring what I'm processing into our conversation. And even if I'm processing it and I do want to bring it into the conversation, I want to bring it into the conversation after I've processed it because my mindset will be different once I understand what I'm having to process, why I'm having to process this, why am I bothered by it? All those things like why? And today I shared a post on Substack, which was I found it on YouTube, but it was phenomenal. And it was about childhood issues and how they affect you as adults. And I shared that with everyone because not of the childhood issues, because we all have issues growing up, right? But when I watched it, I wasn't looking at it from the child's perspective. I was looking at it from the adult's perspective. And what I noticed is many of what they were saying, I think all five were traits that I have. So I don't know how to take a compliment. So if you said, "Oh, you're great," I'm like, "You're lying." So I'm gonna just start taking the compliment because I learned today that's a defense mechanism based on something that happened before. Um, my brother said on my brother talk show, he said, "Oh, you came in like Santa Claus to my son's first Christmas, and I didn't. I appreciated all the things you bought for him, but what I really wanted is that you spend more time with him, not just shower him with gifts." When I was watching a video, it said a person that grew up the way that I'm described would overcompensate with large gifts because you find that if you give gifts, then you get recognition or approval. All this time I thought, "Oh, I'm a show off," or, people think that I'm bragging because I'm, always gifting people things, and that's really not it. It's about how my mindset, what I was drilled into. These aren't bad things. Like, it's not a bad thing I'm giving you a gift, right? It's not bad. Um, it's not bad, but I thought was being humble to say, "Oh, pshaw, I'm not that great." Um, but I do recognize I can't take a compliment from anyone. Like I just it makes me feel weird. Or not weird, but uncomfortable. The other thing is that I'm naturally an introvert, which is great. But it also said that because of what how I grew up, I'm more I'm more apt to be a person that is a trailblazer, pretty much. And I have done that. I have worked really, really hard to build a name for myself. I've worked really, really hard to help businesses kind of grow and things like that. But they said the overachievement goes back to the part of not being recognized. Nothing wrong with being an overachiever. But once you really look at what's driving your actions, wow, wow, wow. Um, it just puts everything in perspective. So I'm gonna say this 3 times, and then she shows up. Brooke, 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 my daughter Brooke. Brooke! Brooke told me that I should always wear turtlenecks because my neck is ugly. That's why you always see me doing this. I don't know what's wrong with my neck. It's not falling down or nothing. Kids, adult kids, right? So that's my life lesson. I Joshua Lee, Joshua Lee, Joshua Lee. I say it 3 times, maybe you'll show up. I actually got a chance to go to one of Joshua Lee's shows today. He is on, Substack as well, Joshua Lee. He has a launch party that he does over here, but I went to his live on LinkedIn. It was really good. It was really funny. He called me a legend and made me feel fantastic. And I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm a legend. I'm a legend. I'm a legend." And then he called everybody else that came in a legend. I'm not a legend. We're all legends. Mm. Thank you, Joshua. Your show was great. I really enjoyed the topic that you had on there, and I really enjoyed your humor, and I would love to be invited back directly by you. That's it, guys. I'm just here saying good night. Thank you for following me. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for keeping the word out about what I'm doing. And man, tomorrow is going to be a great day. And today ended up better than I thought. So there you are. This morning was a moment, a moment. And it wasn't even bad when I was talking to you guys this morning. I was just digesting it. So in my body and my mind, it was like, but I don't think you guys felt that. Anyway, everyone have a lovely night. Bloop, bloop, bloop. If I was really professional, I'd have like one of those little things, but I don't. So